Major League Baseball may be welcoming a Spitfire in the next few days. And we're not talking about anyone on the field. We're talking about the owner's box. Michele, Steele has more from the newsroom. Michele.
Yeah, good morning, Deirdre. Wednesday, the Texas Rangers go up for auction with Nolan Ryan's group leading the bidding and News Corp reportedly interested. But there's a dark horse in this race as well who plans on making his own bid. We're talking about none other than Mark Cuban, a guy who's brought the Mavs from nowhere in the 90s to a conference title and ultimately one of the top 10 most valuable NBA franchises in the U.S. But on the way, here's the thing, also becoming one of the most outspoken, most fined owners in sports. He's been fined almost $1.8 million since becoming the owner of the Mavs by saying things like the former NBA director of officials, Ed Rush, would not be able to, quote, manage a Dairy Queen, which, by the way, Dairy Queen took issue with, cursing Spurs forward Bruce Bowen and other NBA officials, and venting directly to NBA referee Joe DeRosa during a game, using profanity in a post-game interview. Now, does that mean that Cuban will be good for the Rangers? That's our question. Well, some baseball writers say yeah.
It would make them popular among Rangers fans, and it would make them kind of the team you love to hate elsewhere, and that's always good for business. You know, again, he's not the type of owner Major League Baseball tends to seek out, in that he's an individual and he's not necessarily willing to follow the plan. But yeah, I think he'd be an outstanding owner in terms of increasing the Rangers' popularity and in terms of what he'd do for the team.
So no bad publicity, essentially. But the Rangers could do worse than Cuban, arguably. Check out some of the other outspoken owners in sports. The vuvuzelas, if you will, of the front office. Now, aside from Cuban, there's Mikhail Prokhorov, who showed Bloomberg TV earlier this year his skills as an acrobatic jet skier. Al Davis, of course, the owner of the Raiders, shooting Lane Kiffin, now at USC, calling him a flat-out liar after firing him. And don't forget about Danny Gilbert, who very recently shut off that missive after the decision to LeBron James, using Comic Sans as his font and all caps several times during the letter. Now, baseball under Selig values discretion, but ultimately Cuban's successful track record as a businessman, Deirdre, and not as a loudmouth, may win out. We'll see. Happens on Wednesday.